starting with the read aloud from Popularity from First French Kiss by Adam Bagdasarian. And if you remember, this is the same author from My Side of the Story, which is a story of Will and Skip. So you might recognize our main character, Will. Here goes. Somewhere inside me, I knew that 10-year-old boys were not supposed to spend their recess circling oak trees in search of four-leaf clovers. Still, that's what I and my equally unpopular acquaintances, Alan Gold and Alan Shipman, were doing while the rest of our classmates played tag and kickball and pushed each other higher and higher on the swings. Aside from having a little more than our share of baby fat, the two Allens and I had very little in common. In fact, we could barely stand one another. Still, during recess, we were the only company we had, so we tried to make the best of it. Now and then, one of us would bend forward, pick a clover, examine it, shake his head, and let it fall to the ground. Got one, Alan Gold said. Let's see, Alan Shipman said. Alan showed Alan the clover. That's only 3. No, that's 4. Right here. See? That's not a whole leaf, Alan Shipman said sourly. There's 1 leaf, 2 leaves, 3 leaves. 4 leaves. That's not a whole leaf. We had been looking for 4-leaf clovers every school day for 6 months, and each of us knew exactly what he would do if we ever found one. He would hold the lucky clover tight in his hand, close his eyes, and wish he was so popular that he would never have to spend time with the other 2 again. All right, so I'm going to think about Will's character traits. Think alongside me for a second. I think one trait that emerges is that he's kind of bitter about hunting for clovers, don't you think? Let me go back and find some evidence for that. Let's see. He says, my equally unpopular acquaintances, during recess, we were the only company we had for 6 months. To me, those lines make it seem like it doesn't sound like Will has accepted being with the Allens. The way he talks about them in clover picking, it really does seem like he would rather be doing something else. But I can also think about him being kind of sarcastic, right? Like if I look at this part at the end where he's talking about how they'd all wish that they weren't that they wouldn't have to hang out with each other again because they'd wish that they were popular. I'm thinking that part makes it seem like he's sarcastic too. So I'm going to write down right now that I'm thinking he could either be bitter or sarcastic, and I'm starting to pull evidence for both of those traits.